It's our honor today in this forum, the attendance of His Excellency, the Algerian Prime Minister Saifi Ghraib, and His Excellency, Egyptian Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, and also distinguished ministers of the Egyptian ministries. Also, it's a great honor, the attendance of many businessmen from the private sector of both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, let's only remind that Egypt is always committed to bolster ties and to build positive relations with all the countries for the prosperity and for the good for the whole nations. And we here underscore and highlight the brotherly relations with the Algerian people, which based on the strong-rooted historic ties between the two countries. Also, this reflects the green and the great readiness of the two leaders of the two countries to continue and to enhance the bilateral ties. It's also a great and positive sign for the forum to take place today in the new capital, which is supposed to be a great and new destination for business in the Middle East, with new scope of thinking, future-oriented, and with positive future vision. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to start and to lead the business forum, Egyptian and Algerian business forum, to take off now. In the name of God, Your Excellency, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, the Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, our distinguished guest, Your Excellency, Prime Minister of Algeria, Saifi Ghraib, and the distinguished delegation of Algeria. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it's a great pleasure to be among you today among the two business delegations of the two countries to convey to you the greetings of 6 million members of all the commerce, the Chamber of Commerce in Egypt. As we would like to forecast with you the challenges that we are facing in North Africa, in all economic domains, starting from the geopolitical challenges, going out from Palestine and going through the other challenges of the climate change and the repercussions or the negative impacts of the climate change on the landscape and the agriculture, the supply chain as well, delay of the supply chain. Also the challenge of the sustainability in the countries in the region. And we on this just the challenge, but forecasting the impacts of the challenges throughout the collaboration through 4 aspects. Number 1, enhancing the collaboration in the fields of agriculture, industry, also the linking the electricity linkages, also energy projects, in particular for the components of the industries, also enhancing and forwarding the industry, also trying to get the Egyptian experience of and the know-how for the infrastructure and the industrial zones, and also for the industrial projects. The second sector, and through also the integration of all our industrial centers through our collaboration and through the interim cooperation between our countries. The fourth aspect, enhancing the investments between the bilateral investments between our 2 countries, and what's important in particular for the components of the industries. And in this aspect we've got to use all the free trade treaties and agreements to protect our investments. And we have to encourage the Inan and the Benin trade between our countries, to unify and to facilitate all the procedures. This is we have to start to kick with such aspects, not only today but from yesterday. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, allow me to overview and to forecast with you what the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi reiterated, that we have to bolster the bilateral ties with Algeria to enhance the collaboration and cooperation between the 2 nations and the 2 peoples, in a way to create new path for collaboration, for prosperity of these 2 countries, to approach and to reach the integration of the 2 peoples. In a way to reach the perfect products from both countries, either through the collaboration together or through the partnership with other international partners and multi-organizations, not only to export to Algeria but also to export to other countries in the region and to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, although the trade volume is approaching now $16 million, but it's now its starting point, so we've got to increase this percentage, especially with Algeria, which exceeded the $5 billion within the last years, and this is through only five companies or consortiums. That's why we've got to be committed to increase the number of companies working and investing in the Algerian market. To approach to get consortiums and partners to work together for the bilateral investments, and based on what we have reached and agreed upon today morning, and God bless you all, and this all will be with the will of God, and peace be upon you, all of you. Many thanks for Mr. Ahmed Al-Wakil, the General President of the Egyptian Chamber of Commerce. Now, it's the reforms of the Algerian companies. Please, we invite him to hold this speech. In the name of God and all the blessings and prayers on our Prophet Muhammad, Your Excellency, Egyptian Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, and Mr. President of the Egyptian Chamber of Commerce, first of all, to thank you for the hospitality and the mutual respect between our two countries, and what of course gathers us now, and of course what we are now witnessing, that reflects the mutual understanding and the mutual collaboration, also reflects on the Algerian economy. Thanks to the reforms of His Excellency Abdelhamid Tebboune, the Algerian President, and the climate of investment in Algeria is witnessing now great improvements and developments, especially in the technological transformation, also the what's concerning the innovation and digitalization for all the Algerian companies, and within the framework of the free trade great agreement in the African free trade area, and of course referring back to our great rooted historic ties, what's going beyond all this to bring us to a kind of economic cooperation between us on the industrial partnership. What's actually approaching new markets also enhancing the markets between and this is within less than 2 years and a half, also improving our and developing our infrastructure of ports, roads, and our human resources and human capital. And out of this, of course, we are being in now to agree to approach an agreement and in intensive talks to the gates of Africa and the European. And that's why in way for our friendly and brotherly countries to approach to a comprehensive partnership for the great and prosperity of our nations. This contains the fertilizers, infrastructure. Also, this enables us to approach a common ground, to work together, to collaborate together, to go forward with the support of the Egyptian companies. And under the presidency of the great consortiums like Suwaidi and Sonatrat, under the Algerian Egyptian consortium, which will actually open new horizons for the collaboration between the two countries. Thanks for being with us. And after we listen to the words of Mr. Kamal Moula, and now we're asking His Excellency Engineer Hassan Al-Khatib, Minister of Investment, please. The podium is yours. The floor is yours. Your Excellency, Saifi Ghraib, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, ministers, distinguished guests, it's a great pleasure being with you. It's a great pleasure that we meet today with new spirit to put the interest in all the interest and the prosperity of our peoples on brotherly based relations in our Egyptian African horizons, to open new economic horizons for both of us. Algeria is really a main partner for Egypt, and the trade volume approach to through 62 projects in services, and also the trade volume between the $2 billion, and it's a high volume that we approached And of course, although and despite of the positive volumes and percentage of the collaboration, and also as our Prime Minister, as he talked about, the trade volume between the two countries is only $5 billion. Also, the country had invested in the infrastructure, in roads, ports, bridges. Also, the government had also an ambitious plan to enhance the infrastructure and the many factories. This was all within very incentive and strategies for Egypt to be within the best ever 50 countries worldwide of the competitiveness. And that's why we've got many reasons to push forward the collaboration between our two countries throughout the free trade treaty, the African Free Trade Treaty, within the industrial cooperation between the two countries, throughout increasing the volume of investments, throughout working in new spirits to solve all the problems and obstacles that we had, and first of all, of course, facilitating the acquiring the visas, facilitating also the manpower from both countries, to also the supply chain between the two countries. And there is here new methodology to follow up all the complaints between the two countries, to solve problems and get rid of all the hurdles and all the finally. And to build a new era of the collaboration between us, and I'm inviting the delegations of the two countries within this forum to get benefit of the competitive conditions that we are providing in Egypt nowadays, and to interpret this into steps and into tangible steps and tangible results. And peace be upon all of you. Many thanks, and Minister of Investment, Engineer Hassan Khatib, and Sayyid Hassan al-Bashir, the Minister of Industry of Algeria. God, the most merciful, and all blessings and prayers be upon our Prophet Muhammad. Your Excellency, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Your Excellency, Algerian Prime Minister Saif Ghraib, dear ministers, ambassadors, distinguished guests. It's a great honor talking to you today in this high-level Egyptian forum, On the framework of the 9th Higher Joint Egyptian-Algerian Committee meetings to support our two countries to penetrate new horizons and to develop, to enhance and develop the gates of cooperation between our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, and
إصلاحات عميقة شملت الإطار القانوني الأساسي والحكومي. وفي صلب هذه الإصلاحات يأتي القانون 22/18 المتعلق بالاستثمار الذي شكل نقطة تحول في مسار تحسين مناخ الأعمال من خلال أولا تثبيت مبدأ حرية الاستثمار ومبادرة وإزالة القيود البيروقراطية السابقة. ثانيا استقرار الإطار القانوني ما يمنح للمستثمرين رؤية واضحة وآمنة تشريعيا. ثالثا ضمان حرية تحويل الأرباح ورؤوس الأموال للمستثمرين الأجانب. رابعا إعفاءات ضريبية وجمركية واسعة خلال مرحلتي الإنجاز والاستغلال تمتد وفق طبيعة المشروع وموقعه. خامسا نظام خاص للمشاريع ذات الطابع الاستراتيجي الذي تحظى بمرافقة مباشرة من الدولة. سادسا تعزيز الضمانات القانونية من خلال منع أو تغيير رجعي في امتيازات الممنوحة للمستثمر. سابعا تحفيزات نوعية موجهة للقطاعات الصناعية ذات القيمة المضافة وللاستثمار في المناطق الجنوبية والهضاب العليا للبلاد. ولتكريس هذه الإصلاحات ميدانيا تم إنشاء وإعادة تنظيم عدد من الهيئات المتخصصة أهمها الوكالة الجزائرية لترقية الاستثمار، وهي الفاعل المركزي الوحيد المكلف بمرافقة المستثمرين ومعالجة الملفات عبر شبابيك موحدة رقمية وميدانية. الشباك الموحد الموجه للمشاريع الاستراتيجية تحت وصاية السيد الوزير الأول لتسريع المشاريع ذات الأثر الاقتصادي الكبير. الوكالة الوطنية للعقار الصناعي بعد إعادة تنظيمه لضمان شفافية أكبر في تخصيص العقار الإنتاجي. هذه المنظومة الجديدة سمحت خلال سنة 2024 و2025 بإطلاق آلاف مشاريع، من بينها مشاريع صناعية كبرى في ميادين الصناعات الميكانيكية، الصناعات الغذائية، الكيميائية، الدوائية ومواد البناء، مع التركيز على الإدماج الوطني، التحول التكنولوجي وتطوير سلاسل قيمة صناعة حقيقية. السيدات والسادة، إن التكامل الاقتصادي بين الجزائر ومصر ليس خيارا فحسب، بل فرصة استراتيجية ينبغي استثمارها بذكاء. فبلدينا يمتلكان قاعدة صناعية معتبرة، طاقات بشرية مؤهلة، مواد أولية متوفرة، وأسواقا واسعة في محيطهما الإقليمي. وفي هذا الإطار نرى أن الفرص الأكثر نجاعة وواقعية تكمن على سبيل الذكر للحصر في أولا صناعة قطاع الغيار والمكونات الميكانيكية، لا سيما مع بروز صناعات المركبات في الجزائر ووجود طلب إقليمي لها. ثانيا الصناعات النسيجية والتحويلية تسعى حاليا إلى تطوير هذه الشعبة الصناعية فيما تمتلك مصر من خبرة صناعية وتقنية قوية. لهذا ندعو إلى شراكات تكاملية تمتد من الغزل والنسيج إلى الصناعات التحويلية والملابس الجاهزة، موجهة للسوق الداخلية وللتصدير. ثالثا الصناعات الكيميائية والتحويلية المعتمدة على المواد الأولية المتاحة في البلدين، بما يسمح بخلق منتجات ذات قيمة مضافة موجهة للتصدير. ورابعا الصناعات التقوية الجديدة، كما يشكل فتح خط بحري مباشر بين الجزائر ومصر خطوة مفصلية لدعم التجارة البينية، وهذا ما تقدمت به اللجنة. وتسهيل حركة السلع وتقليص الآجال والتكاليف اللوجستية بما يسمح بتسريع تنفيذ المشاريع المشتركة ورفع حجم المبادلات بما يتماشى مع الإمكانات الاقتصادية للبلدين. السيدات والسادة رجال الأعمال، إننا نعتمد عليكم اليوم لإعطاء هذا التوجه الاقتصادي بعده العملي، فالحكومتان توفران الدعم السياسي والقانوني.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are depending on you as we are getting great support of our two governors and the political leadership of our two countries. And they are supporting all the mutual initiatives through the Algerian agency for reforming and for treating all the files and issues concerning all the wise governance to penetrate and to implement new developmental projects which interpret and translate the strong will of our two countries on the integration, not on the competition, and peace be upon all of you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Your Minister. Now we are inviting His Excellency Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to hold this speech. In the name of God, the most merciful, my dear brother Saifi Graib, your Algerian Prime Minister, dear ministers, distinguished guests, distinguished representatives of the private sector, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, allow me to welcome all of you and your country, the Arab Republic of Egypt, within the framework of the 9th Higher Joint Egyptian-Algerian Committee meetings. And there is no doubt that the attendance of all of you today reflects the strong will of both of us to boost the bilateral ties based on the historic, deeply ties between our two countries. It's a supportive point to enhance the future, the flourishing future for our two peoples. And what we approached from positive and tangible results, still we are talking about what we have from the opportunities that we have, but we haven't used, and all the opportunities to the optimum. We need to move into mutual partnership to penetrate not only the African continent but also the European continent. And this framework, we got so many priorities. Number one, enhancing the bilateral ties in several domains like energy, landscape, agriculture, many countries, and the Egyptian companies had made great improvements and developments in the Algerian market, also to activate the role of the Algerian-Egyptian businessmen, the Council of the Businessmen, for exchanging information and enhancing the collaboration, also supporting the collaboration between the businessmen from the two countries throughout the Chamber of Commerce of the two countries to accelerate implementing the projects. Ladies and gentlemen, enhancing our business and our economic relations is not based only on the governmental level, but it comes to the role, the pivotal role of the private sector. And that's why we do believe that the success and the progress of this forum and this higher joint committee is depending on the tangible result that we will get out of this forum within the framework of all the challenges and changes that we are facing and witnessing in our two countries. And that makes the moment that we are in a proper moment to implement and to penetrate Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt is now going on implementing mega developmental projects with main focus on innovation and technology, digitalization. Based on that, those are pillars to penetrate the future and to ensure a suitable climate for the big organizations to also to implement new projects to get rid of all the challenges and obstacles that we have, and that's why we do believe that the Algerian side will go ahead and to support all the Egyptian and Algerian countries to deepen the cooperation between our two countries. Finally, I'm reiterating Egypt's commitment to strengthen and deepen the bilateral ties with Algeria for the prosperity and for the best of our two peoples. And we are here also reiterating our appreciation from our leadership and our nation for the support of our mutual ties, and thank you and peace be upon all of you.
نشكر السيد رئيس الوزراء. نلتقي الآن مع دولة السيد سيفي غرايب.
And now we are inviting His Excellency Algerian Prime Minister Saifi Ghraib to hold his speech. Please. In the name of God, the most merciful, and all the prayers and peace be upon our Muhammad. My dear brother, Egyptian Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, distinguished guests, dear ministers, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, also dear guests, media representatives. It's a great pleasure, first of all, to thank you and to also express my gratitude for my brothers in Egypt for the hospitality and the warm welcome that I got and that I received, emphasizing the importance and significance of such mutual meetings to open new horizons for mutual cooperation between our two countries, that have been together from long years by historic ties. And of course, after the struggle, and our struggle now for independence, this historic great ties between Egypt and Algeria is like great reason for both of us to go forward together on all domains. Well, the Egyptian-Algerian Forum is a great and positive sign for the great will of the Algerian President Abdelaziz Tebboune and his brother, the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, for the strategic ties, for enhancing new investments in mutual trade volume between the two countries. This within, of course, in different sectors, above all energy, industry, all related industries, and first of all, of course, automotive industries, and also real estate explorations, and all the developmental sustainable projects. Our meetings today is a great opportunity for mutual and for the enhancing the collaboration between us, for brainstorming, exchanging views, to start to implement great projects on the ground, to open new horizons for better future and better business and economic opportunities for both of us. Adding to this also the raising the export volumes for the markets of both countries, and also to the markets, the African markets and the European markets. And here I would like to refer to the successful stories that we achieved together as the business forum in Algeria took place in 2022. What considered to be important and crucial step in the mutual cooperation. Your Excellency, Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, it's not to disregard here what we approached through the economic cooperation between the two countries. This register new curve of the great cooperation in 2025. And as the trade volume between our two countries was like approaching $622 million, and now is reaching $870 million in the field of trade. And if we're talking about Egypt, as Egypt is now supposed to be and considered to be #1, the African continent in the field of energy. And of course we're talking about other Algerian countries who are supposed to be successful companies in the field of energy and the investment, the climate of investment in Algeria. I'd like here also to refer to the reforms that we recently taken in Algeria, and still it's an ongoing process to enhance the climate of investment, to make breakthrough in the climate of change, also to enhance the production and to increase the production volume between the two countries. Also referring to the investment law of 2022, it's supposed to be a suitable ground to attract more investments, to ensure and to attract more investments among all investors, if they are even within the country or foreigners or foreign investors. For 10 years, also the transparent articles and also the positive procedures that we've taken, building also a separate bank for conducting only business and running the business of the running projects on and within this frame, inviting all the investors in Egypt to seize the opportunity now, encouraging them to invest in their second country, Algeria. They will be, of course, totally most welcome, and to enjoy the suitable climate of investment. And they could, of course, get in contact with the representative of the Algerian agency. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Prime Minister, Algeria now is looking with a satisfactory look for what they've achieved and succeeded to achieve. Now we're looking forward for positive and more tangible cooperative opportunities between our two countries, and this is a great chance, a great opportunity to establish strong basis of partnership between our two countries. And here I'm emphasizing again for getting new mechanism and creating new mechanism for conducting the new projects between our two countries and two companies. And this is, of course, in our forum today will be, of course, that's why we are here today. We are gathering today with such a strong will to enhance and to improve on the basis of win-win situation, also emphasizing also to how to seize all the available opportunities in Algeria. As for Egypt, of course, optimizing the opportunity of the free trade zone, the African free trade zone. Ladies and gentlemen, before I finalize and end my word, also I'd like to express my gratitude for my dear Egyptian colleagues for hosting such forum today and for hosting our positive businessman forum, also seizing the opportunity now for building new partnerships, opening new horizons with great ambitions. So wish you all the success for all your efforts to approach the suited goals for seizing the opportunities to the optimum, and for the suggested projects also putting front mind also the within or under the leadership of our President Abdelaziz Tebboune, and also under the leadership of His Excellency Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, for the prosperity and for the interest of our two nations, and peace be upon you. Thank you.
نشكر دولة السيد الوزير الأول. شكرا
Many thanks for His Excellency Algerian Prime Minister Saif Ghraib. Ladies and gentlemen, with the ongoing will for achieving the interest and the prosperity for the two nations, many thanks, ladies and gentlemen, and peace be upon all of you.